Have you ever felt like there's a secret rulebook for money that nobody ever gave you? Well, today we're going to decode it. We're pulling back the curtain on all the big ideas that control your paycheck, your savings, and your future. So, let's jump right in.
You know the feeling, right? You get that paycheck notification, you see that big, beautiful number, say $2,000, and you get excited. But then you check your actual bank account, and a huge chunk of it has just vanished. It's one of the most frustrating feelings in the modern world.
So, where on earth did it all go? It feels like it just evaporated into thin air, snatched away by some invisible force. Well, guess what? It was. And we're about to make those forces visible.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the rules of the game. These are the giant, hidden systems that are working on your money long before you even get your hands on it.
The biggest and most obvious culprit is, of course, taxes. The easiest way to think about it is like a subscription fee for living in a civilized society. That money is supposed to pay for everything. The roads you drive on, the schools in your neighborhood, even the health inspectors who make sure that taco truck on the corner isn't going to make you sick.
And taxes come in a few different flavors. You've got your income tax, which is a cut of what you earn. There's sales tax on the stuff you buy. If you make money from investments, you get hit with capital gains tax. And then you've got Social Security and Medicare, which you can basically think of as a mandatory savings plan for your own retirement and future health care.
All right, the next invisible force is inflation. This one's a little sneakier. It's that feeling you get when you realize the bag of chips you bought is now half air, or that the instant noodles that used to be $1 are now $1.50. Your $5 bill is still a $5 bill, but its actual power to buy stuff is slowly, quietly eroding away. So, what's causing this? Well, a few things. Sometimes it's simple. There's too much money chasing too few goods, so prices go up. Other times, it gets more expensive to actually make and ship things, so companies pass that cost on to you. But the wildest part? Sometimes it's just our own psychology. If we all believe prices are going to go up, we all rush out to buy stuff now, which, you guessed it, causes prices to go up. It's a total self-fulfilling prophecy.
So now we know the rules. Let's meet the big players in the game. Think of these as the institutions and ideas that create the economic weather. They decide if it's going to be sunny and prosperous or stormy and uncertain.
We have this image in our heads of how a bank works, right? You put your money in, and it sits in a giant, secure vault with lasers and maybe a dragon just waiting for you. But the reality of what happens to your money is way more interesting, and it's definitely not just sitting there.
Here's the secret. It's a system called fractional reserve banking. When you deposit, say, $1,000, the bank doesn't lock it away. By law, they only have to keep a small piece, a fraction of it on hand. The rest, it gets immediately loaned out to someone else who's trying to get a mortgage or start a business. Banks aren't just giant safes. They're financial matchmakers, connecting savers with borrowers.
Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds kind of risky, and it can be, but there's a massive safety net. In the United States, the federal government insures your money in most banks up to this number, $250,000 per person. So, even if the bank messes up, your money, up to that limit, is safe.
When you really stop and think about it, money itself is just a weird idea. I mean, a dollar bill is literally just a piece of paper with some fancy printing on it. It has no more real value than a cool-looking stick you'd find in the park. The only reason it works, the only reason it can buy you a coffee, is because we all collectively agree that it's worth something. The entire system is built on nothing more than shared trust.
So what happens when that trust gets shaky and the whole system starts to shrink? That's when you get a recession. The best way to think about it is that the economy is like a giant party. A boom is when the music is blasting and everyone is dancing. A recession is when the music just stops. Companies cut back, jobs disappear, and everybody clutches their wallets, waiting for the party to start up again.
Okay, enough about the huge cosmic forces. Let's bring this all the way back down to you. This is about the numbers on your personal scoreboard, the metrics you can actually see, touch, and most importantly, control. Let's start with interest. It's a true two-sided coin. When you owe money, interest is your absolute worst enemy. It's the evil magic that turns a $12 burrito you put on a credit card into a $50 regret. But when you have money saved or invested, interest becomes your best employee. It works for you 24/7, even while you're sleeping, making more money for you. It's basically a real-life cheat code.
Next up, your credit score. And here's the most important thing to get straight. This number has nothing to do with how rich you are. A credit score measures one thing and one thing only: trust. It's a quick, 3-digit number that answers a single question for a lender.
If I give this person money, what are the odds they'll actually pay me back? That's it.
And this shows you exactly how that trust is measured. Just look at this chart. A whopping 35%, the biggest piece of the pie, is just your payment history. That's it. Simply paying your bills on time is the single most powerful thing you can do for your score. Yeah, other stuff matters, like how much of your available credit you're using, but nothing, absolutely nothing, beats just being consistent.
So, you know the rules, you know the players, you know your personal stats. How do you actually win this game? In this last section, we're going to talk about the most powerful assets you have to make the whole system work for you.
The single best way to beat inflation and build real, long-term wealth is investing. It's the difference between working for your money and making your money work for you. See, most of us just trade our time, our limited hours on this planet, for a paycheck. Investing is how you break out of that trap. You put your money to work in a way that generates more money, all by itself.
And the magic engine behind all of this is compound growth. Now, in the beginning, it doesn't look like much. After 5 years, your investments might buy you a nice dinner out. But give it 15 years, and suddenly it's enough for a new car. Give it 30 years, and it could be enough to fund your entire retirement. It's so important to remember, real wealth is almost never built in days. It's built in decades.
Now, to get more money to invest, you have to understand the idea of value. Why does a Gucci handbag sell for $4,000 when a Target handbag made of basically the same stuff, fabric and a zipper, sells for $40,000? It's all about perceived value. And once you understand that, you can start asking yourself, how can I create something, a skill, a service, a product that people see as incredibly valuable? Because that's how you earn more.
And that brings us to the very last idea, the most important asset you will ever have. It's not your bank account, it's not your skills, it's your time. It is the one resource that is truly non-renewable. And in the game of money, especially with the power of compounding, time is the ultimate cheat code. It's the most powerful force you have on your side.
So I want to leave you with this question. Think of every hour you have as a unit of currency. You can spend it or you can invest it. Most people just spend it, trading 1 hour for a flat wage. But the real question is, how will you invest in your hours? How will you train them and yourself to create more value so that one day they work for you, building a future where your time is finally, truly your own?